Hello everybody, welcome back. We are going to talk today about the NPC AI and discuss the great details that were revealed in this week's Around the Verse by Tony Zurvek and Francesco Rocuzzi, what we are going to see in 3.0, in general what we should be expecting from this very important feature in Star Citizen in the future. For me personally, the NPC AI is a quite important, a critical feature for the success of Star Citizen, and this is mainly because the universe of Star Citizen is going to be filled with NPC. The goal is to have an NPC to human population ratio at around 9-10 to 1. And this is because CIG is trying to build a living, breathing universe, and in order to have a living universe you need to have a lot of NPC going about their business, completing tasks, performing activities, and in general creating opportunities for us, the players, whether we are traders and bounty hunters or criminals and pirates. We will also discuss briefly about base building in Star Citizen, in the future of Star Citizen, and what we are going to see, what kind of features we are going to see in 3.0 that will help make this feature, this activity, a reality. So let's go ahead and start with the NPC and their AI, a very important feature for the Star Citizen universe. If these NPC were stationary and were repeating the same phrases, going over the same dialogue all the time, that wouldn't really make any difference. What we need in Star Citizen and what we are going to get is smart NPC having their own routine, having their own life, and be as realistic as possible. And this is going to be very important in order to give a proper feeling to Star Citizen, in order to give a proper feeling to the universe of this amazing game. And this is exactly what we are going to get starting with 3.0. The landing zones will start feeling a lot more alive. We're going to see a lot of different NPC around these landing zones, landing areas, and of course the settlements around them, going about the business, trying to pursue their own interests. There will be a plethora of NPC around these places, from businessmen to shopkeepers to law enforcers and criminals trying to achieve their goals, and of course trying to offer you a different set of missions, different quests that you can choose to complete or not. Definitely something very different from what we have seen in other games and from what we have right now in 2.6 with a stationary NPC. This feature is going to make the world alive, and of course, depending on what kind of NPC you are going to encounter in every different location in the Stanton system, around the Stanton system, will also give a different personality to these landing areas. The change, of course, is not going to stop there. The goal, like I have mentioned, is to have better, smarter, and more effective NPCs. So we are also going to see changes, different behavior in combat. The NPC will start having better coordination between them. They will understand the environment better and will try to take advantage of every different situation in order to achieve the best possible result, have the best possible outcome for them. Having a better AI is going to have a huge impact to the game and of course to the content that is offered to the players. As the AI is being developed, we are going to see a lot more missions in game that are easier to create and will offer more content and have a lot more variety. We will not always have the same type of missions like we have right now with the 17 missions that are available in the mini persistent universe, but we will start seeing different missions with different results every time. We will not know what to expect. So for example, one time we might have to rescue someone and go to the place and actually rescue an NPC, and the other time we will have to rescue again an NPC, going there and it will turn out to be an ambush. This is going to be great for the game. We do need this kind of variety in the game, not knowing what to expect, not knowing what we are going to find at a new location when we arrive over there. Something else very interesting that we understand from the developers is that boarding is going to have a much bigger role in the verse than we would expect it to have. And this is because the NPC are going to be a lot more effective. So an NPC pirate will have absolutely no benefit to destroy your ship, to kill you and destroy your ship. It will be better for him to disable your ship and board you. So we should expect this to be a common practice. NPC will always try to board your ship, will try to disable you and then board you, kill you if you resist, and steal your cargo. In that way they will be able to achieve the best possible outcome. And this will also have an impact on player gameplay. players as well, player pirates, or law enforcers and mercenaries who will always try to disable ships, the ships of their targets, borrow them, and steal their cargo, steal the ship, or arrest a criminal. We have also some great news regarding the AI crew on multi-crew ships. According to the developers, to Tony Zurovec and Francesco Rocuzzi, having a full AI crew on your multi-crew ship instead of human players will have absolutely no disadvantage. So if you want to go out there with only AI as a companion, you can do it, and you will be as effective as if you were with a full human crew. The only real difference is going to be the cost of hiring and maintaining an AI crew, how much you are willing to pay in order to have a good NPC or a lot of NPC with you. We have to mention that better quality NPC will cost more and have a higher salary, so if you have a lot of AI crew in your multi-crew ship, you will have to pay a lot, but if you can make this money, then there is absolutely no problem with this approach. The available NPC to hire as crew will have a variety of characteristics that will determine how good or bad are at a certain task, and the skills of the NPC are going to be very important when you're trying to decide which NPC to hire and which you don't want aboard your ship, aboard your multi-crew ship. This is what is most important, how good is an NPC at a certain task, and of course, the better he is, the more expensive it's going to be. So you can hire the most expensive NPC to manage your shields, for example, and be sure that he will do an excellent job. There are more possibilities, of course, and there are more ways to play. You cannot go for the best NPC. You can hire an NPC that has mediocre abilities at a certain area or not very good abilities at a certain area, and in time he will be able to develop a skill. He will be able to become better. So if you have an NPC that is not so good assigned to shield management, sure, there will be some risk at the beginning. You will risk having him make errors, but as time is passing and you complete the missions with him, he will start getting better, and this is quite important. You can start building a crew with a low-skilled NPC at the beginning, and the more you play with them, the better will become and more effective. High-quality NPC will be the best for every possible job, for every possible task, and a low-quality NPC will have a higher risk to not perform well under pressure, but they will be cheaper for you and easier to afford them. So there is definitely a risk versus reward approach here in this gameplay in Star Citizen, and I have to say that I kind of love this approach. You can have the freedom to make your own decisions and pay your own mistakes. At the beginning with 3.0 we're not going to have a great variety of NPC to choose from, of course. We will mostly see NPC that are suitable for engineering and can manage your power, scanners and weapons, and later as the game is being developed we are going to see a lot more NPC like pilots. What is even more interesting about NPC on a multi-crew ship, whether that is your ship or an NPC ship, is that they will have and follow their own hierarchy. The captain will be able to give orders, tell the other NPC what to do, how to prioritize their work, and even send certain NPC in order to deal with emergencies. The goal is not to have too much micromanagement, but more like prioritizing things in order to achieve better results, and that way it will be also easier for you to command your own NPC. And it will also be easy to replace some of your NPC with some friends, player friends or organization members. Customize your crew in that way and their actions. This is going to be a great way to fill spots in your multi-crew ship by hiring an NPC and have them perform the tasks you or your friends don't want to deal with. So the players can perform the tasks that are more familiar, have more fun doing, and the rest of the spots, the rest of the positions on a multi-crew ship can be filled with NPC in order to save you from dealing with something that you don't like doing. There was also mention of the development of an AI module that we will be able to buy and assign to specific spots. So for example, if we don't want to hire an NPC, if we don't want to spend the money and the salary to hire an NPC to be a gunner on one of our turrets, we could buy an AI module in order to operate the turret. Again, there is a certain level of freedom that will allow us to form our crew and have it perform in any way we like. There's going to be a certain RPG feeling in the game, since we will be able to create relationships and bonds with the NPC that we will not only have on our crew, but also the NPC that we will deal every time that we are visiting a certain area. The NPC will react to our reputation, what kind of reputation we have in the verse, or the relationship we have with them. And the relationship we have with certain NPCs is going to be very important for the opinion they have for us, but the reputation is also going to be quite important as well. So if you are a pirate, or if you are helping people, or if you are well known for being good at a certain task, the NPC will know of that reputation, and it will determine how it will deal with you, what kind of quests and missions it will offer you, and how it will react to you when you are trying to talk with it. One very important thing that we have to remember is that the reputation we will have in the verse will be deteriorating over time. So if we are very good at a certain activity, trading for example, we will have to continue performing this activity in order to maintain our very good reputation. If we stop trading and start doing something else, then the NPC will start forgetting us as a great trader. The ambition of the developers is to continue developing this aspect of NPC, to continue evolving the relationship that they can have with the players, and in the future it will be even possible to develop new responses and dialogues and be more open to you the more you interact with them. Overall, I find this aspect a great addition to the game. The fact that we can create bonds with the NPC, it will simply make the universe of Star Citizen richer. And I have to say that I think this feature is going to be even better for players that want to run a ship with not many NPC required to run it. So if you have a ship with up to 4 or 5 crew members, you will be able to create a better bond, a better relationship with this NPC. Overall, having better, smarter and more interactive NPC in the game is going to be a great addition for Star Citizen, and it's going to make the universe feel a lot more alive and attractive to players. Now let's go ahead and talk a bit about base building in Star Citizen, the Star Citizen universe. And before we start, we have to be very clear that this feature is very distant. We're not going to see it anytime soon. What we are going to start seeing with 3.0 are small planetary locations built with a modular system and can be considered as the beginning of base building in Star Citizen, as the first step to have one day this functionality in the game for the players. The fact that this is a modular system is very important because it gives the developers the ability to create different buildings with different purpose. The exterior might be quite similar, we may have a small variety at the beginning, but the interior we can change it in any way we like. We can have different purpose buildings depending on what we are going to place inside these small camps. And this in the future will also give the players the option to create their own buildings and have inside whatever they want. They can have a research facility, they can have a warehouse, they can have a production unit, pretty much whatever they want in order to achieve their goals at the certain location. In 3.0, the goal of these buildings will be mostly to populate the planets, and these will be small camps and research facilities that will probably be empty or populated with NPC. And sometimes there will be the goal of a mission. We will have to visit them in order to achieve a goal, complete a task, or retrieve an item, kill an NPC. The developers eventually want to give us the ability to build our own bases, to build our own structures, give them their own purpose, so it will be possible for a player to find a remote planet on the fringe of the universe and create a home, or for an organization to create a base somewhere in the universe of Star Citizen from which they can operate. In that way, if you want to find a planet and start a farming business, if you want to become a farmer, it will even be possible. You could create a small little base for you and maybe 1 or 2 friends and start creating goods, start extracting minerals, and even turn yourself and your organization into a known supplier of a certain material. It is obvious that the possibilities here are endless, and it will only depend on the imagination of the developers and of course the players, what they can build and what they can do with that kind of stuff. But to be clear about this feature, it is not coming anytime soon. In 3.0 we are going to get these small camps and research facilities on the surface of the Stanton planets, and they will be available for us to explore and complete some missions. When we are going to see actual base building in Star Citizen is not yet known, but I'm guessing it will take some time. Overall, I'm very excited with the level of NPC we are going to start getting with 3.0 and in general how they are going to develop, how they are going to evolve, and of course base building. The fact that we will have one day in the future in Star Citizen is something to be waiting for. I would really love to hear your opinion on the NPC AI and how they will perform. And I would really love to hear if you prefer to have a crew full with NPC or prefer having players with you out there in the verse, and what you think about base building in Star Citizen and how soon you think we're going to get it. Thank you very much for joining me. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. I am SquidofLove and I will see you around the verse. Bye bye.
We'll be right back.